Hello my beautiful butterflies, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Beverley and it's so lovely to see you today. In today's video we're doing a review of this book, Defying Shadows for Witches and Pagans Battling Cancer and Chronic Illness by Jessica Settergren. So grab that cup of tea, let's get to it. Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm so excited because we're talking about chronic illness and disability and being witches. But before I get into it, I do need to say that the next door neighbours are having work done today. That's why we're in a different place, but you might still hear banging. I'm sorry. I also need to say that this book and the next book we're reading, I bought with my own money. They are not sponsored content. I've not been told what to say or paid to say certain things. I bought a book with my own money and I'm sharing my thoughts and feelings with you. So if you enjoy this sort of content, definitely head over to Patreon where you get extras and bits and bobs. Like even if you're a free member, you can join our Discord server and I do digital downloads and things like that for members. A huge thank you to my people already over there in the butterfly family. Let's get to it, shall we? This month we were reading Defying Shadows, and this was a book that a couple of people mentioned to me and I'd actually already bought it. It was already on the list. Behind me down here are all my future books, so as you can see we've got quite a few months already bought. Defying Shadows, it's a really lovely book. It looks really nice. It's got this beautiful like forest in the snow drawing on the front and in the back. October 2019, Jess Settergren received some life-altering news. She had breast cancer. So this book is very much based in the world of cancer and this person's experiences of cancer, which as a nurse who worked on a cancer unit before I got sick myself, very interesting to hear from the patient's point of view. But I will say a lot of the things in here can be applied to chronic illness as well, so you don't have to have cancer in order to enjoy or get something from this book. Let me grab my notes, which as always are on my phone because I am a professional, as we all know. What I loved in the foreword, which is by Morgan Daimler, they talk a lot about how imperfect our world is when it comes to people's experiences with illness and how the craft can give us control over situations that feel out of control. However, they are not cures. None of the things in this book are solutions or cures for cancer or chronic illness. It's important to remember that there are things in here that are going to help you cope with these situations, but this is not like we read a little while ago, Medical Medium, who is a medium or a psychic who claims to have a connection with a healer who can heal us all if we follow their directions. And it felt very witch doctory. If you know that in the past Victorian times we had a lot of witch doctors out there claiming to be able to cure people. This book is not that. So bear that in mind. There's no like follow this diet and you'll be healed kind of information, which I really enjoyed or liked or appreciated. That's what I want to say. I appreciate. The author is incredibly open and honest about all their symptoms and their experiences. There's no goriness. They don't go into like explicit details or photographs of wounds, for example. So even if you've got a bit of a squirmish belly when it comes to medical procedures or needle phobia or anything like that, you don't have to worry, nothing like that. It's all just like their experiences and why they wrote this book. And basically it's that all the books about how to deal with cancer were written from a Christian point of view, and they couldn't find any information, so they wrote about what it's like to deal with this from a pagan or witchcraft point of view. And I think that is where a lot of like witchcrafty books come from. The idea comes from, there was nothing about this that I needed, so I wrote it, and I love that. I love that we get our experiences push us out of our comfort zone and end up pushing us to where we need to be. Now, I do have to say, as always, I do go into what the books are like to read. If you have pain, like arm pain I have, hand pain I have, etc. And this is a surprisingly heavy book for a paperback. It really is. And also, as you can see, it does not stay open when you open it. Some books kind of flop open and they stay open. This does not do that. I did feel like I was constantly fighting to keep the book open, and that made it painful at times to read. So bear that in mind if you have arm pain or hand pain. Also, I will state the writing, the text size, not the best I've ever seen, but also not the worst. I didn't struggle with reading it at all, even on my most foggy, fatiguey days. I could still make out the writing, which is good, but yeah, it's the heaviness and the holding it open that really caused the problems. So do bear that in mind. Maybe get it on Kindle instead, or other reading implement. Yeah. There was a whole section on meditation, and meditation is really important to me. I do try my best to practice mindfulness and to bring mindfulness and meditation into my craft. I loved that the author had a whole section about all the different types and ways that you can use meditation in your craft, in your everyday life. I loved that. I think so many people try one sort of meditation and then give up if it doesn't work. Meditation is a practice, but also there are hundreds of different types of meditation, and you can try all sorts of things until you find the one that helps you. And that is something that I've often said, but it was really nice to hear it in this book as well, because so many people talk about meditation, they don't talk about all the different types. So I liked that. There are so many good rituals in this book that can be applied not only to cancer but also to just chronic illnesses. Like they have a low energy marinara sauce, so you can do a bit of kitchen witchery and it's not going to take up all your energy or have things that are going to hurt your mouth, things like that. They had an oil blend for courage, things like that, rituals and little spells that you can do even when you're not feeling well. They had a lovely one that was like you can lie in bed and have crystals or candles or even LED candles like at the top, the bottom and the west and the east of your bed to form a circle. You could even use blankets of different colours to form a circle around you as you napped. Things like that that you don't think about, but you just like, yeah, it's genius. That makes total sense. Yes. And I had a lot of those moments when reading this, so I highly recommend for that if you're looking for more low energy, low cost ways of practicing your craft when you're not feeling well. I'm always looking for that. There was a whole section about appropriation from other cultures. As you all know, this is really, really important to me. I'm English and I'm as white as you get. All my ancestors are English, going back quite far on my dad's side of the family. And so it's really important to me to kind of decolonize my practice. Reading about it in a book, always important. I love when people talk about this and how, yes, this might work, but is it your culture? Like a lot of these books that I read are American and I'm English, so I'm not going to use a lot of their rituals, but I can use them as inspiration, and there's a big difference between those two things. So I really appreciated that there was a whole section on that. There was a whole bit as well about finding deities for healing and working with them. I work with Archangel Michael and I also have Archangel Raphael coming quite a lot to heal and to help me to rest. And there are so many deities to do with healing, but finding deities that are going to be called in and worked with for healing and to help you heal when you're struggling, such a good idea, so easy to do. And I think deity work is something that not everybody feels called to, but is a huge part of my practice personally. So I think finding deities to work with for healing when you have chronic illnesses, when you have cancer, when you have something going on that you really need to call on that deity for yourself or for a family member even. Really, really good to bring up. Really appreciated that. The cancer journey itself is very much a part of this book. It's very autobiographical in a way, not totally, but in a way. It's kind of like this is how I experienced my cancer journey. So if you're a pagan or a witch having a cancer journey, it could be like this. I appreciated how open, raw and honest it was about their emotions and feelings, the treatment they had, the kind of effects it had on their body. That is something that you don't often read about, and it wasn't romanticised. The science was there, and it wasn't like, oh, you're a witch so you should just be doing spells. I think if we use our spells alongside traditional medicine and modern medicine, then we can find something that's really special and is really going to work for us. And I liked that about this book. I'm always a bit worried when people are like, oh, I'm spiritual, or I'm a witch, and this is my journey, because it can sometimes lend to people trying to sell things, sell diets, sell cures, etc., as I spoke about before. This is not that, and I found it incredibly interesting, really not inspiring like she's so inspiring, but kind of like inspiring just how open and honest they are. I talk a lot about chronic illness from my perspective and my story and journey on my blog. This really gave me a new way of looking at it, and something that I kind of felt inspired by for my own social media and everything. So that was really, really cool. The included spells and rituals are really powerful. There's one where they do not magic with the hair that they cut off, and then they burnt the hair and gave it to their deity in that way. It was incredibly powerful, and there's quite a few spells in here that are like that. I think it helps to see why practically you would choose a certain spell or a certain ritual at certain times. It shows how you can really use spell work in your day-to-day life, but also in those big powerful moments in your chronic illness or cancer journeys. That was so inspiring to me and really helped me to see including magic in those big moments. Like, I just did a video last week of me enchanting my mobility aid. I got a new walking stick, and I hadn't bought a new walking stick for like 20 years or so, and I treated myself to a new walking stick, and then I painted it and did enchanted it. I made sigils and everything, and it felt really nice, and that was in part inspired by this book. So I'll leave a link to that video down below, but I just wanted to say that this book can really inspire your magic and inspire you to find ways to bring your magic into the everyday. I love that, found it so powerful. Also, all the spells have so many alternatives. Like, just talking about that bed spell earlier for naps, it was like, if you're scared of falling asleep with your candles lit, or you're not going to be able to move, try an LED candle, try crystals, try stones, try raising energy, try blankets or towels of certain colours. I found that really cool, the fact that they take the guesswork out of it and give you some alternatives. I haven't come across that a lot in other books, even other books where I'm reading about disabled witches, they'll give you just, that's my ritual, whereas this had lots of alternatives, which I thought was really, really cool. This book also had a powerful moment where they talked about the mixed messages that we get from social media, society at large, the governments, etc. Like, if you're disabled, they want you to go back to work. But if you can work, then you shouldn't have been on disability anyway, and you're not giving enough to society, but you shouldn't pay tax because you don't get enough money. But then other people say you make too much money and that we're scrounging, and then so you're going in circles, like you can't win. And I thought it was really important to talk about that, just how those mixed messages of, like, they put it in the talking specifically about cancer, about how, you know, you can feel like, oh, I need to be staying at work, but if I stay at work I'm going to get more sick, so I should take time off, but then maybe I haven't got enough holidays left, and, you know, maybe I should be inspiring people on social media and doing certain things, but if I can't do that, then am I a failure? There was so much talk of that in this book throughout, but there was a whole chapter specifically talking about this. I thought it was really important to talk about and to face head on those misconceptions of society and people in general about us, about people with chronic illnesses and cancer. And I really feel like this book is so well put together and explains the whole process so well. Like, you could even read it if you're not a pagan or a witch and get so much out of it, because it just helps push down those walls or those misconceptions around cancer treatment and what cancer is to most people who have it. Overall, I loved this book. I don't know if you can tell, but I loved it. Look, it's got 101 little bookmarks in here. That's always a good sign. I'm going to be trying some of these rituals, or turning to some of these rituals in the future. And if you want to see how I use some of these rituals or some of these things in my own practice, don't forget I do have a weekly vlog where I share my daily life as a disabled witch, and that's where I'm more likely to share what I'm doing with these. But yeah, I love this book. Go and get it. Whether you have cancer and you're a witch, you don't have cancer, you have chronic illness, you don't, whatever, read this book. It's amazing. Even if you're just overworked, you've got 3 children, you've got a full-time job, and you're feeling all the pressure of the world and you don't have a lot of energy, you'll get something out of this book. Trust me, read the book. I will, as always, leave links to the author and for more information about this book down below. Check that out. And I guess now is the time to say, Beverley, what are we reading next? And next up is Slow Magic, which has been nibbled on by my puppy. Ugh. But still, Slow Magic by Anthony Rella. Slow Magic, cultivate lasting transformation through spellwork and self-growth. I thought this would be great for those of us with chronic illnesses, or just for people who want to live a slower, more mindful life. And so I thought this would be lovely as we come to the end of summer and we step into the season of the spooky, the season of the letting go of things that no longer serve us. Slow Magic might just be the perfect book. So yeah, let's read the back. Meaningful experiences don't come without commitment. You need slow magic for profound and enduring work. I don't think I need to read any more than that. This is just, it sounds so good. I've high hopes for this one. So I hope it doesn't let me down, and I hope it doesn't let you down. As always, links to this author and this book will be down below. So if you want to read along with me, you can do, or if you want to wait for me to do my review, you can do that too. Slow Magic. Or if there's anything you would like to hear me do reviews of, for example, there's a specific book coming out, or there's a tarot deck for chronic illness or disability and I don't know about it. If you want me to do something like that, let me know down below in the comments. While you're down there, don't forget to leave this video a cheeky like, comment and subscribe. All these things are magical and free, and they let me know and the YouTuberverse know that you enjoyed the video, and it will share it out just that little bit more. I hope you all have a wonderful magical week. Never forget, you are loved. Take care, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!